Hello, hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the Rocket Growth Agency Rocket live streaming show. So this is my second time trying to do this, and I'm experimenting before I start doing some more of this with a lot of different guests I'm going to be having up. The idea is to try to do this once a week on Tuesdays, and I'm trying to line up a lot of great guests to bring you guys some really great information about business, culture, life in general. So this is a very participatory chat. So feel free to throw me some comments and open to talking about whatever, taking your questions. Today I thought I would focus a little bit more on some of the stuff that I've been talking about lately out there on the chat, and then talk about some things that I started this company because I really wanted to be able to bridge my love for not only helping people with their personal branding and their networking and business relationships, but I really also wanted to tie in my love for music, for all things pop culture, and share it out with everybody too, because this is all, the Rocket Growth Agency is such an extension of me personally. So I wanted to be able to share all that with you and talk about that as well. So feel free to pop any questions like that in the chat as we go along. I want to say a big thank you. I put out a video earlier today on social media and some other groups that I'm in, talking about like how it's the end of the week and how I really like to focus on being very thankful, showing appreciation, gratitude, giving praise to those folks who have really helped me out, not just from a business standpoint, but also a personal level as well. So some really quick shout out and thanks are going to go out to Jimmy Young, who actually had me come out on his show recently over on YouTube. It's called In the Weeds with Jimmy Young. So make sure you check that out. We had a great chat, and that's actually live now up on his network. If you go to In the Weeds on YouTube, you can check that out. Also want to big thank you to Elizabeth Gerhardt and Marcella for having me on the Fireside chat or Fireside directory. We just did a great interview there, and that is out now as well, also on YouTube. So definitely checked it out. Want to thank Monica Dema for inviting me out to her networking group this week. Had a great time, met a lot of great folks. Dr. Dave Kunick, of course, always thank you for your support. Pam Ungst for delivering an amazing webinar on SEO basics, tools, and resources to the NJ Ad Club this week. That was a really well-attended event, so I want to thank everybody who came out to that, and thank you, Pam, for giving your time to do that webinar, and thanks to everybody who helped from the NJ Ad Club to put that together. So, and also I want to say Happy New Year to all my Jewish friends out there. Today's a great day to celebrate, so yes, Happy New Year to all of you. You got it, Marcella. You are welcome for the shout out. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about some, you know what, it's something I get asked a lot, right? So obviously I wear a lot of the music, whole music influence is definitely worn on my sleeve here. And, everybody knows me. I'm a big fan of hard rock and heavy metal. So I'm always open to discovering new bands, listening to new bands. But I just wanted to go through some of the music I've been listening to. Some of it's brand new. Some of it's a little old. It's just in my steady rotation of things. So I'm going to share some stuff really quick. Before I do, just wanted to give another thank you shout out to my buddy, my friend, my accountant, Ray Pinglora of Van Dyne and Bruno accounting agency. Sent me this awesome mask. Spaceballs the face mask. So really excited to have gotten this. This is really cool. Definitely got to order your own, but thank you so much for sending this out. This is an amazing face mask. It is the #1 face mask to fight COVID-19 with. So thank you for that. So some stuff I've been listening to. I wanted to share this, and yes, I still buy records, everybody. So that is a thing still. So there's a really cool band that I've been talking about to everybody that will listen to me. They're called The Haunt. It's a metal band from California. I think they're from Fresno, and they are excellent. They put out their own music. They're not really signed to a label, so to speak, but he is excellent. If you're a big fan of a lot of 80s early metal, or even some like 70s sort of doom metal, so if you're into like Sabbath, but also like Blue Oyster Cult, and like some of the earlier, early Iron Maiden, things like that. These guys are awesome. You could definitely pick this up, and they put out really cool vinyl. And this one is cool because it is very colored. Look at that. Very cool, right? So definitely check this out. Super melodic stuff. And I think if anybody is out there that likes that kind of metal, will really, really dig this. If you like Black Sabbath, things like that. Another really cool record I've been listening to. This came out earlier in the year. It's by the James Hunter Six. It's called The Nick of Time. So this is not metal at all. It's actually much more, more like a rhythm and blues, very soul band. James Hunter. I just recently got into them. They're on the Daptone Records label. So if anybody out there is a huge fan of Sharon Jones or a lot of those types of bands, a lot of rhythm and blues, a lot of soul, a lot of R&B, even like just really, really cool label. They put out excellent music. James Hunter 6. If you like, Van Morrison, things along those lines, this is another excellent record to get into. Very, very vintage sounding, very like 60s kind of a feel. Also on colored vinyl. Look at that. That is nice, right? I'm a big fan of the colored vinyl, so I'm a sucker for packaging, big time. But I love the way that this looks too, with the old school like lettering from the old jazz kind of style, and just even like the back cover type of a thing. So very cool. I highly recommend picking this up. And by the way, you can check all these out on Spotify, Apple, wherever streaming music is out there. You can listen to all this stuff. So it's all out there and available. Another record that I just got on LP very recently, which I love, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by this one, but this is an excellent, well-made record. It's a little bit older. It's about done back in 2008, but it's Duffy, Rock Ferry. Excellent record. Highly recommend. You really can't go wrong with this record. It is amazing. Her voice is ridiculous. So definitely pick this up. I'm so glad I finally have this on vinyl because it sounds amazing on a turntable. Very warm, start to finish. This record is solid. So definitely check that out. This has been in my rotation forever. So yes, I will totally jump from like listening to like The Haunt or something heavy and throw Duffy on. So that happens a lot in this household. Somebody else I actually just discovered recently on Facebook is Samantha Fish. And Samantha Fish is an unbelievable blues guitar player. She is the queen of the cigar box guitar. Her videos are excellent. I highly recommend going out and checking that out. This is a record that I picked up from hers. I saw, and it's got a lot. I think it's mostly mostly all cover songs, old R&B, soul covers, blues. And she's just got this amazing vintage rock and roll style. Her voice is so cool, and she's such an amazing guitar player. Really, definitely check her out. She's got a lot of other records out. This was my first introduction into her, and for me, a lot of big things I'm into. I'm into a lot of garage rock, a lot of like that 60s sounding garage type of rock and roll. And she checks all the boxes for me. She's so talented, and this is definitely somebody you want to listen to, especially if you're looking for some really great guitar sounds, an amazing voice, and just that deep bluesy, little bit of country twang, country with that rock, that real screaming guitar, R&B, soul kind of a thing. So definitely check out Samantha Fish because she is just the best. So some other stuff I'm listening to, if you're into ska and punk, The Interrupters. This is an older record, came out a few years back, but it's basically been the record of the summer for us as we've all been hanging out. There isn't a bad song on this entire record. It's on Hellcat Records. Definitely another one you want to check out. They have tons of videos online you could watch. There's an excellent video of them playing in this really small club that was, I think, done by, I think it's on Decibel, but it's on their YouTube channel, and it's just them packed in a club with like 50 people, and it's phenomenal. So definitely check out The Interrupters if you're into like a ska punk kind of a sound. Yes, that is right. That is this album of the summer, man. That's right. I'm going to share Ken's comment right here. There you go. It is album of the summer. By the way, happy anniversary, buddy. You and Rachel, happy anniversary. Another record that came out this year, and it came out sort of at the start of the COVID stuff. So, they didn't get to go on tour or anything because they were going to plan a really big tour. But August Burns Red, really, really heavy stuff. Definitely not for the faint-hearted, but great band, always a positive message, and they just make great music, especially if you like working out to like a lot of hard, heavy music. But these guys are no joke, super heavy. They came out with this excellent record, Guardians. It's very cool. They are on Fearless Records, and I don't remember if this is colored or not. Let's take a gander because now, yep, it is colored. So check this out. You guys will like this one. Boom. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. That is some beautiful vinyl right there. So, so it's another really great, very heavy band. If you're fans of, bands that are heavy, but also very technical too. Like these guys are just awesome musicians. I've seen them live several times over now, and they are just excellent. They do not miss a note live ever. A couple other things that I'm listening to as well. Sorry, just knocked over all my records. A couple other things that I'm listening to as well that I don't have the physical records of yet, but I've been listening to because I bought them digitally. One is the brand new Hum record, which is just phenomenal. I'm going to try to bring that up here and share. From the one big hit song that they had called Stars. So that was the big song everybody knew about. And I'm going to share my screen really quick here. There we go. So this is the new Hum record. It's called Inlet. You can listen to it right now on Bandcamp and on Spotify. I did order the actual LP of it. It's been delayed because of COVID-19 and some backup on manufacturing, so it's on its way. But if you are really into very thick sounding, very heavy sounding music, they're not really a metal band. They don't scream vocals. It's just very, I guess, hypnotic is the way to describe it. This record, actually, I throw it on and it just is completely very relaxing to listen to. And it's not like an up poppy record at all. It's definitely much more of that slow, heavier feeling kind of a band. But if you're really into that, this to me right now is the album of the year. I'm a little partial because I'm such a huge fan of these guys. This is like their first record they've put out in like 22 years, I think, or 19 years. So it's been quite some time since they put out anything. I think the last record was in 1998, which was Downward is Heavenward. So this is a really nice record to hear from these guys, especially if you've been a big fan for a long time. So I definitely highly recommend checking out Hum Inlet when you get a chance. Another really great, yes, exactly. It is a wall of sound. That's a great way of describing it for sure. It is a total wall of sound. Another really excellent release came out this year from Long Beach Dub All Stars, and that also was, to me, the record of the summer. If you came over the house at all this year during the summer, we were always cranking this record, and it's one of my definitely one of my favorites of the entire year, which you can hear right now. You can hear it even on Spotify. I don't even know if the sound's coming out on that right now, but this is definitely the record you want to pick up. It's just Long Beach Dub All Stars. It's self-titled. These guys have been around for a while, so once again, if you're into like skies, it features members of Sublime. And it is a really, really cool, laid-back summer vibe kind of a record. Really great messages in the music. I know summer's over, but I definitely recommend checking it out. If you want to hold on to that summer vibe, check out the Long Beach Dub All Stars record for sure. So that kind of wraps it up for a lot of the music I've been listening to lately. Like I said, some of it's a mix of new releases, some of it's a mix of older releases, just some steady stuff in my rotation. So if you have any suggestions of music you're listening to that you think I'd love to check out, I'd love to hear it, or share a Spotify playlist or anything like that. I love sharing Spotify playlists and making playlists for people. It's like the new version of doing the old school mixtape. So definitely share that out for sure. I'd love to check out any kind of new music that you guys are listening to. Also, some books that I've been listening to, or sorry, books that I've been reading. I am listening to one book though in particular, but the couple books that I've picked up recently that I've really enjoyed reading, and some of them I reread several times, but this is a really cool one. It's called Misfits Scream With Me, and it's a really cool book of all different flyers. It's a real pictorial history of the band. There's flyers in here, lyric stuff, just a really well put together, I guess you could say, punk rock coffee table book. So if you are a giant fan of the Misfits, Scream With Me is a really excellent book for you to pick up. The pictures on here are great, and looking at some of the old flyer art, a lot of the different LPs and 45s and things like that the band put out over time is very, very cool. So this is and it's cool. It's a really nice book too. It's hardcover. I love the pictures in it. They just did a really beautiful job putting this whole thing together. So definitely Scream to Me. Check that out. Also, a few business books that I've been reading. This is a book that came out a few years ago, but it's written by my buddy Martin Rooney. It's the book of 5 things, and this is a book I have on me all the time. I'm always looking at it, and it's a very awesome motivational book. So if you, it really applies to anything that you're doing in life. It doesn't have to just be like Martin is a fitness trainer. He's does training for warriors. A big time name in the industry, especially if you're in MMA and all that. But he writes these great books, and this is one of them that he put out. It's called The Book of 5 Things, and every day it's just you could just turn to a page and get some really great advice, tips on basically anything in life. So this is a book I highly recommend that everybody go out and just get and just leave it and read it every day. Pick it up, read 1 or 2 pages from it. And this will make your day better. You'll definitely find yourself feeling a lot better throughout your day, throughout your week, having this book around. Another great book was written by my buddy Joe Applebaum, High Energy Secrets. Some of you guys know Joe on LinkedIn really well. Really fun book. Really great book to read about, just the simple things about having to drink water and how much, just drinking water throughout the day increases your energy. So definitely, Joe is a guy very motivational. He's really transformed not only his mentality, but his physical appearance through health, through energy, through doing the right things. And this book is an excellent, excellent read. So I highly recommend checking this out because what he writes about in this book translates to everything, not just physical health, but also mental health, and also, just your personal well-being, which is so important. And this is a book I wanted to share too, which is a bit of an older book, but I constantly reread this book, and it's Rework. This is an excellent book for anybody out there that is starting a business, is in a business, looking to make pivots or changes in their life. I highly recommend reading Rework. I have reread this book several times, and every time I do, I find another great nugget. And if you don't like reading, I know I hear that sometimes from people, like, I don't like reading a lot of business books. This business book is written much differently. Some of the chapters are literally 1 page long, and it's really about just like how the book says, rework. And it's written by the guys from who were the founders of Basecamp. And it just is really good at changing your outlook on things and how you look at things as far as business goes, or starting business, or doing business. And I can't express enough how much this book has helped me in developing throughout my entire career, how it's helped me out, and how it continues to help me out, even as I'm now starting this new adventure here at Rocket Growth Agency and doing this business now. So that is another really wonderful book that I highly, highly recommend you pick up. So, continuing on, I really appreciate everybody who's been hanging on and watching this right now. Once again, this is a format for me I'm really trying out, and I'm really trying to learn it and get some participation going. So with that, I really want to say thank you, everybody, for being part of the stream today. Thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble about some of the stuff that it's been influencing me, stuff that's been a really big influence on me lately. And it's a stuff that I know people ask me about all the time in private chats and things like that. I get texts on things. Hey, Chris, what do you think sounds good? What are you listening to? What are you reading? So I just thought I'd share some of my top recommendations that I've been sending to folks as we go. So with that, thank you guys for watching. And remember 3 things. Always be authentic, always be yourself, and always remember to rock it. Have an awesome weekend, everybody. See you soon.